Hey, Basement Dwellers. Welcome to another fine episode of the Basement Diaries. I'm your host, Wesley Tilford. Today, we have two really fun guests in the basement, but before I get to that, I have a little update for you. So, as I said at the end of last week's episode, Checkin' In with Wes is spinning off to its own day. Every Friday, starting April 5th, you'll be able to listen to a new segment of Checkin' In with Wes. So instead of just waiting to the end of the episode to hear me talk about my life and my problems and, stuff you really probably shouldn't be listening to, instead of having to wait to the end of the episode, you'll be able to listen to it on its own day on Fridays, starting April 5th. You can listen to it on the same feed as the Basement Diaries, so on Tuesdays, you'll listen to the interviews. On Fridays, you'll be listening to Checkin' In with Wes. So stay tuned for that. Today's episode features not one, but two guests. I have Spencer Brady and Sarah Ford in the basement. I was just recently on their podcast. It's called Out of College Actor, What's Your Backup? And it's all about the struggles of being a postgraduate in the scary adult world. Specifically about actors, but I think really anyone can identify with it. So go check out their podcast. Make sure to support them. They are on Spotify, iTunes, and Google Podcasts, and they're also on Facebook, so make sure to like them on Facebook. All that good stuff. Yeah, this was a really fun one. I had reached out to them. They were looking for new guests on their show. I was looking for new guests on my show. So I was like, why don't we do a crossover episode? So I had them come to the basement, and then I went over to their place, and yeah, we did the whole switcheroo, and it was a lot of fun. We talk about both of them, their childhoods, and kind of what led them to want to study theater in college, kind of their experience through college, and now having to deal with being out of college and that whole transition. So it was a really fun and optimistic conversation. These two have such a great balance of being realistic, but also having the optimism and determination that it really takes to be an artist these days. So I hope you enjoy Sarah and Spencer's interview as much as I did. Make sure to stay tuned for the end of the episode where I have the Checkin' In with Wes segment. Make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, keep up to date with the latest. Also follow and subscribe on iTunes and Spotify or anywhere you listen to podcasts. Thank you so much, Basement Dwellers, and enjoy. Spencer, Sarah, welcome to the basement.
Hello. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for coming. I'm glad we could get this arranged. So you guys host your own podcast.
Yes.
It's Out of College Actor, What's Your Backup? Did I get it right?
Yeah, right.
I got it right. So before we get into that, I just wanted to let the basement dwellers, who are my listeners,
Yes. I love that.
just how we know each other. We went to Illinois State together, as over half my guests have, so no surprise there. But you guys were freshmen when I was a senior, right? Maybe?
Possibly?
I think so, because
When was the first season of Concessions?
that was my senior year.
Yeah.
Weren't we sophomores?
No.
I don't know. I know we were in Lemon Inc. together.
I wasn't in that.
I
weren't.
was.
Yes. You weren't in that?
No, I wasn't.
No.
I just had it in my head that you were in that show. Maybe I just associate you guys together all the time now.
That's fair.
Since you host your own podcast together,
Yeah.
I'm like, they're in everything
It's true.
together.
Absolutely.
We almost have been.
Yeah.
A lot of the shows and college.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just,
together.
for some reason I just assumed you were in that. But me and Spencer did limonating together.
I was an extra in concessions too, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, both of you were.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Not
was
at the same time.
Was it the?
It was at the same
Yeah.
time.
It was okay. So, oh my God, that night was insane.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
Was it the dance
It
thing?
was the birthday party.
The birthday party.
Oh, yeah. I remember that, yeah. So I was there for another one, too. We
Yeah.
were in the basement of a church.
I only did that one, but
Oh yeah. That
Yeah.
one was really fun.
Yeah.
I just that night, the party one.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you guys felt any stress that night, but for me, that was just like one of the most stressful directing
really,
days I ever had. Because I had like a whole like party of people to
Yeah, it's a lot.
oversee, and then
true.
I also had to focus on the scene at hand. And yeah, it was a rough night. We were, I don't know what time you guys got out, but I remember we stopped filming around like 1 a.m.
Oh, wow.
no,
Oh.
I was gone before that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I let you guys go because
It was fun.
Yeah.
yeah, it was a fun shoot and it turned out really well, I thought, but it was just yeah, one of those nightmare directing gigs where you're like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into?
Yeah.
Even though I made the show and was like, it was my own decision to do this, and then while I was doing it, I was like, what am I doing? But yeah, so we know each other through ISU, and yeah, I always thought you guys were really like. I just like that you kind of reached out and like did your own things, because I feel like it's difficult in a college environment to just kind of like if say you don't get cast like freshman year or something, and then like it's really easy to just kind of sit back and be like, well, what do I do now? But I always saw you guys like jumping on projects and
Yeah.
doing your own thing, and yeah, I just really appreciate that about you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, I start off with the compliments, and then by the end,
We're just all crying.
yeah, I'm just gonna roast you.
Perfect.
Oh man, I'm ready.
So your podcast, Out of College Actor, what's your backup?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
It was made out of necessity.
Yeah.
It really was. So it's a podcast that Sarah and I do where it's mostly about postgraduate life immediately. The like acting side of it, like now you have all the acting tools in your belt. You've gone to school for it.
Yeah.
Now how does that work in the real world? What does at least a semblance of a career path look like? That kind of thing, and adjusting to it in the real world. But then also talking about the becoming an adult, because we would talk about it all the time how you've had like 18 years of consistent, like I go to school, I do this, I do that. Now there are so many possibilities, it's overwhelming. So it's like talking about emotions and growth and
Kind of like reaching out, because no one really talks about that transition. It's kind of like everyone kind of deals with it on their own.
yeah.
Well,
wanted to
yeah,
bridge
and
that
I
gap.
think specifically in like the acting world, there's this like I don't know if you guys sense this, but there's this weird like competition underlying beneath all of it. So people always have to act like they have it together and they know what
Yes.
they're doing, and it's like to pretend that you do that is like if we can all just be honest with each other and be like, I'm in this place, you're in that place,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
Yeah. Well, and it's not as malicious as it's made out to be. You
No,
know?
not at
like,
all.
Yes, it's competitive, but nobody's sitting there going like, I'm so competitive, I want everybody here to fail. They're just like,
Yeah.
no, I just want to do really, really
Yeah.
well. Like it's
Yeah.
I think those are ideas that we get in our head a lot because
Yeah.
we've heard people say, "Oh, this business is so cutthroat,"
Yeah.
and then you get into it and you're like, "It doesn't have to be."
Yeah, it's your own
Exactly.
making of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. So, I'm interested in your like. So you guys graduated last year,
yeah, last May.
right? And so, what have some of your biggest struggles been with being out of college now?
I think for me, it's the lack of routine and the lack of feeling like you're a part of a community, if that makes sense. Because in college, you kind of develop that yourself. You're like, I'm a part of this bigger idea of like, I'm in college, but also like, I am in theater, I'm in this cast. Like, you have these little social circles you can be a part of.
Oh, yeah.
And you're away from your hometown for 4 years. And then you come back and you're like, all the close relationships I've made, all the work I did is all back there. Not just in normal, but in like the past. And now
I
you
know,
have to
it's like
start
rebirth
over.
in a lot of ways.
Exactly. And just like birth, it's so painful and horrible, and you just like hate every second of it. So it's like,
That's a great analogy.
it's true. It's so hard. So like a lot of it for me was struggling with that and just like emotions. It's like puberty all over again. It just sucks at first, and then as you figure your life out.
Puberty without the zits.
Exactly.
Well, maybe some zits.
It's just emotional puberty.
Yeah, emotional puberty. Okay, so Sarah,
Yes.
we're gonna talk to you for a little bit. Spencer, go away.
Perfect. Bye, everyone.
So where are you from? Just a basic question right off the bat.
The suburbs in Bolingbrook.
Bolingbrook, okay.
Yeah. So it's like an hour south of here.
An hour south? Okay, great. And so what was the decision for you to go to Illinois State? Because it was close by, or?
Well, my original heart was set for California, and my dad said no. And so
Oh, man.
there were three...
Where did you want to go in California?
I had no idea. I mean, I was a young kid in high school that just hated being in the
In
suburbs
Illinois?
and cold. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I was like, I need to get to California. I know I want to be like an actor, so I just want to get there. I didn't look at any
Oh
schools
God,
or
I
anything.
had the same exact thought.
Yeah.
When I was like 17, I was like, I'm gonna move to LA when I'm 18 and just instantly become famous. That's how it works.
Yep. Exactly. That's why there's so many people there, because they're all successful.
Yeah. Yeah, because you only see the successful ones.
Exactly. But yeah, so then I picked just 3 random schools. There's just ISU, Ball State, and Belmont in Nashville, Tennessee. And at all the auditions, it was only ISU where the teachers were friendly and nice at the audition. And I was like, out of the 3, I was like, I'd rather go there because that was one I felt most welcomed at.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so once you went there, did your 4 years there, then you're out of college, and kind of what we were talking about before, what were your first steps after you got that diploma? Well, I say got that diploma, but you don't actually get it till a few months after.
Yeah.
Which
The metaphorical.
scared the shit out of me. I was like, did I graduate? I don't know.
Yeah.
But so you get your diploma, and what do you do after that?
I knew in my heart that I needed to find a artistic community right away. So
Yeah.
I started looking for auditions in Chicago just to be a part of something. And luckily I got cast in like a new play, right, like a week after graduating. So I had something to look forward to. And
Well, that's fantastic.
New people to meet. Yeah, it was a great time. That's where I met my boyfriend. So it was a good experience. So I had that. I had to find a job, which became dog walking. And I like yoga, so I wanted to get my teacher training. So I found an internship at a studio. I kind of ran out the gates, kind of sprinting
Oh,
towards.
wow.
I was like, I gotta get.
That's the way to do it.
It was like, it's a hard transition because mentally I was like, I don't feel like myself. I feel very imbalanced and too many transitions. But I was trying to.
So your way with coping with it was just,
Staying
I'm going to
busy
move
and-
forward.
Yeah, trying to make sure I'm like putting myself in the best situation, no matter how I'm feeling. Like even if I don't want to do anything, making sure that the future me will be thankful for the work I've done at least.
Oh my God, let me take some notes on how to live my life here.
Sitting here like, that's not me.
Okay, so now I'm curious, like, so you're in this place, and it seems like you're gaining a lot of steam now, and you're involved in a lot of things. What do you see coming in the future? Like, do you see any roadblocks ahead, or anything that really scares you?
Yeah. Well, I used to be a dog walker, and then I quit that, became a kids sports coach. Didn't like that, so now I quit that and became back to dog walking because I love walking dogs.
Oh my God, that's great.
I realized that what I want to do is I'm interested in film acting, and I figured that's what I want to do, so I should be trying to do that. So next is finding more on-camera classes and taking more classes to better my skill. So I think right now what's freaking me out is that, like, I know I have the time to do this, and it's just pursuing it and finding how, like, what these new paths are going to take me to.
Yeah, and the first step is, like, looking into it and being like, I did a Google search.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nailed it.
I always check that one off my whiteboard, and then it's there for, like, 2 months.
You just gotta sit with it, let it.
Yeah, let it sit. I Googled it. I got to sit with this accomplishment.
Yep.
Now, 2 months later, I can do something else. I can Google it again.
Yeah. There you go.
Classes in Chicago. Look at it. See the price. Too much.
Yeah.
Okay. That's very inspiring. Let's see if you can top that, Spencer. Or bottom that.
I'll probably bottom it for sure.
Okay. Well, so where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Naperville. It's actually like 8 minutes from Sarah's house.
Oh my God.
So we grew up
were you guys like friends growing up?
No. Never even knew.
No.
We've always been connected.
Yeah.
Just didn't know it. But yeah, so I grew up in the suburbs as well. But every time somebody says Naperville, they're always like, Naperville. So I don't know if I grew up in like the snooty suburbs. It didn't feel that way. But
isn't that where Bob
Kanye
Odenkirk
West is
from?
buying a house? Yes.
Wait, what?
Kanye West is buying a house in Naperville.
Why?
I don't know why. He went to this bar that we all go to and just like lived it up, and then he's like, "I'm buying a house in Naperville." And everyone was
Did
like,
you see him there?
my dad that's like his spot, and somebody was like sending him photos. They're like, "It's Kanye West," like it's a whole thing.
Oh my God!
Everyone's very.
You guys, you should get Kanye West on your podcast.
Hey, Kanye West.
Like, go to that bar, just like wait, like every day, and wait for him, and have like your mic ready.
Oh, you're there. Oh, hello. You'll be here. Oh man.
So you grew up in Naperville. Then I'm going to ask you kind of similar questions. You went to well, let's get into high school a little bit. We didn't get into high school with you. I don't care about your high school.
That's okay.
But Spencer, I care about your high school.
I wish you did it.
Oh, I can tell this is gonna be good. What were you like in high school? Like, of what you remember of it? I mean, it's hard. I look back to high school and I'm like, that was a totally different person than I am now.
I was like 8 different people. I had such a hard time. Like, I look back now, I like physically cringe. Like, I can't think about it. Or
Oh my God! Do you ever look at like old
anxiety-inducing.
pictures and you're like,
yeah, I hate it.
Yeah.
Like, my hair was nuts. Oh my God, I would dress like I tried out the punk look for a while, and then I was like, I'm gonna dress really nice every day and do my makeup. Like, I was just so all over the place. And
Yeah.
It was
just because you
mess.
didn't know really who you were, and you were
Exactly.
trying on a different look.
Trying on different hats. But then I really got into theater right before my junior year of high school, and that kind of helped provide stability of some kind.
Oh, great!
If that makes sense. So I acted there a lot, and then I actually worked there for a long time too. So kind of that's where the love of theater and the reason to go into it was cultivated. I don't know what that sentence was, but that's where it started.
Oh, okay. So let me ask you this: did you get good grades in school?
I mean, I tried.
You tried.
I
You
was
weren't
like
just
a-
like, fuck this.
Yeah, I wasn't like, I'm so moody. But like, I was like a B student. Wasn't that bad?
Oh,
I
not
could've
bad.
been better, but
Yeah, I mean,
I made it.
I think I was literally dead like 50% in my class. You know, like
Yeah.
I was like, yes, I'm average, exactly where I want to be. Nobody expects anything from you, but also nobody thinks you're like a complete reject
Exactly.
from society. So it's like the best place to be.
Yeah. High school was weird too. I got so ill in high school. I missed so much of it. I
Oh,
lost so
really?
much weight. Yeah, I really fell behind too.
Ill with like a
Like physically ill, and then that's where a lot of like mental health problems sort of came through the woodwork too, but it was mostly like I was out of school for like almost a month. Like it was like bad.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was so bad. Like I came back, everyone's like, "Are you okay?" Like I'm so pale and like lost so much weight. Like it was the worst. So it's like high school was just a nutso time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So after you graduated high school, was there like a switch when you got into college that you started like finding your identity a little more?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it still took a while in college, but college was, I don't know why, but the saying like, "Oh, college is so fun, you'll have such a great time," like it's true. Like it was such a much better
And I talk
experience.
about it so much on here. I'm like, it's funny at work. There's this bread vendor who comes in. He's like in his 50s, and we talk sometimes. And I told him about my podcast because he was asking me what I was working on, and he listened to it, and he was like, they're good interviews, but I didn't go to college with you guys, so I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, oh shit, you're right. So maybe it's not for like 50-year-old bread vendors, but I love talking about the college experience though, because it's really like transformative.
Yeah.
So you decided to go into theater because of like finding it in high school.
Yeah.
So did you acted in a lot of plays?
It was only musicals.
Only musicals.
Yes, and then I got to college and only did plays.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
How was that transition? Were you like happy about that?
I was. It was
Okay.
really hard because even though I felt good about my audition to get into the program, I felt so fish out of water, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because I mean, ISU doesn't really focus on musicals very
Exactly.
much.
Yeah, and musicals. It's a lot of the musicals I did were like upbeat. They're funny. They're comedic. And then to kind of have to learn these monologues and contrasting, and I'm in front of all these people. Like it was definitely weird. But like now I wouldn't go. I don't think I can do musicals ever again. Like I just never kept that skill.
Yeah.
But I liked plays better.
Yeah, you know why I like plays better?
Why?
Because I suck at singing. So
That's
just
fair.
keep me in plays. Don't ever have me sing anything, and we'll be good. The only times I've sung in plays are when it's like funny because it's bad.
I have sung in one play. It was like sad, but
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the only time I ever sung. Yeah.
Oh.
College.
Great. Which one was that?
Antigona Furiosa.
Oh, I didn't catch that one.
No, it's okay. It was directed by somebody who went to school with Dan Esquivel. It's a story of Antigone, but it has this backdrop of the missing children. I wish I had kept up with the lore of it, but it's this whole story about like, and I'm not gonna remember what country it happened in either, but it's essentially all these people went just like missing like that. And to this day, like on the anniversary of it, they still have these like marches, like where are they? Like the government still hasn't given answers, and so that was kind of like the backdrop of the show. It was amazing.
I wish I had seen this.
One of my favorite
What
things.
was it in Westoff?
No, it was in 202.
202? Oh
Yeah,
It
wow.
was a free stage.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a free stage show.
Yeah.
Oh great.
It was awesome. I loved it.
I love free stage so much.
Yeah. I loved it.
Shout out to free stage at ISU.
And we were both in free stage on the board too.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I was the
always together.
co-president last year.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
you were president.
Yeah, me and Anthony Harden were co-presidents.
Oh great. How's that experience?
It was, honestly, I don't remember much of it, but it was good. I don't remember much of senior year. I did so much. that
It's
I don't-
you were just
I
doing-
just,
So much was happening. It just like went out of your brain.
yeah, I was all over the place.
I love it.
I enjoyed it, I think.
Yeah, well, that's amazing, and that's a good sign though. It's
Yeah.
like I'm working hard, like I'm doing what I can, and if it goes out, that means it probably went pretty well because it wasn't traumatizing. At
Yeah, I
least.
don't have any
Yeah,
bad
me neither.
memories. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good.
the thing I love about free stage is like I remember when I proposed my show Anti-Saint, and I was so nervous to do that because I was like, this is so stupid. Then I wrote it in 3 days. Like, they're never going to accept this. And so I just kind of put it out of my mind that it was going to happen and just went in there and was like, this show is about Santa Claus before he became Santa Claus. And then it got accepted. I was like, what? What do I do
Great.
now?
And it was good, yeah. It was good.
Oh, thank
Funny,
you.
yeah.
Yes, I remember it.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I'm glad. If somebody can remember a show you did, like, that's something to me. Like, even if they hated it, I'm like, at least you remembered it. No, but it's just like this freedom with with limited budget, which I like because I feel like limitations do create better art in a lot of sense, and that's I would enjoy going to the free stage festivals almost like a little more than I did the main stage shows. It was really not to bash the main stage shows or anything. I have Lori Adams, like, she hears this podcast and she, like, comes to my door and is like, Wesley, are you just talking shit?
Bashing the school. How dare you?
But you know what the first thing I would say to her is, though? You listen to my podcast?
Yeah, we talk about her too.
True.
We're always
Yeah.
like, Lori, please.
I've been wanting to, like, get a professor, like, on here
Yes.
at some point. Like, maybe take a trip back to ISU and, like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. Maybe in the future.
Yeah.
So let's get back to your story. I haven't forgotten about you. I'm pointing. I always forget that people can't see what I'm doing, so I'm talking to
Trust
Spencer
you.
now.
You do you.
So you go to college, and
It wasn't supposed to come out that way. I was just agreeing. Yes, I did.
yes, I went to college. So you go to college, and that's where you kind of find your identity a little more. How did you find your identity? What was there a specific moment that you remember, like, oh my God, this is the place that I can truly express myself?
I think it really came, odd as it is, like I was helped by the people around me to find myself. It was just an entirely new environment, and I'm meeting all these new people, and it's sort of this chance where you have a blank slate. And so, like, yeah, I didn't figure it out right away, but, like, seeing that I have these new relationships, not just with my peers and my new friends, but with these teachers, like, you can, talk with these teachers and directly learn from them. So a lot of it came through the connections I made with other people. And oddly enough, just a lot of alone time. Like, I spent so much of my time in, like, high school, like, just killing myself over, like, helping other people and, like, being there for others and
Helping
always
other
being
people
busy.
in what way? Like,
Well, like, when you, like, go to work or, like, being available or just trying to be, what's the word I'm looking for? You're accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so I had a lot of alone time in college, oddly enough. And, like, in those moments when you're just with yourself, you kind of understand what you want to do, and it just helped me learn, like,
yeah,
these are my
introspection
limits.
has been my savior. I think it even extended for me, like, through college, and maybe we'll save more of this for tomorrow when we swap podcast. But yeah, even through, like, even when I graduated, I felt like there was this, I had this alone time just away from, like, all the projects I was working on at school to be like, wow, who am I and what do I want to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other bit of it was I did, like, utilize the student health services. Like, I went to therapy for a couple of times there too.
That's great.
And that
I
helps
did
to just
too, yeah.
guide you. Yeah. Like, especially in those times, because college is so tough, and the fact that, like, it's fun, you're doing your own thing, but you're also away from a support system that you're familiar with, like your family.
Yeah.
So sometimes that had to happen, and that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes you just need a tune-up, I
Yeah.
think. So you're done with college. You graduate 2018.
Yeah.
What's next for Spencer after you get that fake diploma?
It was hard. I did not come out the gate like Sarah did. Like,
Okay.
I felt like I was a little burnt out by the end because I took on way too much stuff, and Sarah will attest to this. I used to come home, like, so stressed. But so then I took that as, like, a reflection period and, like, downtime. Yeah, and then just a lot of things happened right away that derailed a lot of my plans and a lot of what I thought was going to happen. So now I'm just in this spot where I'm like, it's the basics right now. Like, I'm working on getting a job. Like, I have 2 like online gigs I'm doing. What am I doing tomorrow? Like, I've had to break it down to just
take
day by
it,
day.
a day at a time, and try to compartmentalize it. And
Exactly.
because if you, I have such a big problem of looking at the big picture all the time,
Yeah.
and it's like, no, just like focus on what you're doing now.
Exactly.
And that's a big lesson I've learned in the few years I've been out of college. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah, and well, it'll come too. Like, just put it out there. Like, because I started like going for auditions again, and I was like, oh, like I don't. If it happens, it happens. If not, it doesn't.
And auditioning, I don't know how you guys feel. Auditioning sucks.
I said that. I hate it.
Yeah. How do you feel about it?
I like auditioning.
She loves it.
I do.
She's so much like, she's so put together. Like,
As I'm saying, I take so many
Only
pages out of Sarah
externally.
Ford's book.
yeah, please write a book, so a self-help book, so
Please.
Spencer and I can read it.
Us.
But yeah, so I'm curious, what do you like about auditioning? Like, what do you get out of that?
For a while, definitely in college, my goals with auditioning was, because I wasn't good, so I wasn't getting cast or anything. So I'd use every audition to like learn something new and make a new goal for myself the next time.
Wait, did you just say you weren't good?
Yeah.
No.
I
Say it.
had to
Shut
audition
up.
for the
Don't say
acting program 3 times before I got in.
Hey, no, that's just,
Not because you weren't good.
yeah, it's not because you're not good. It's just, different people see different things.
Yeah,
like,
that's true. Yeah.
um,
But yeah, it was setting a new goal for myself each time I auditioned. And then now that's kind of shifted into, I just kind of see it as my job of like, I'm just going to go and like perform for new people and hopefully I'll meet friendly faces. And
Yeah.
I try to audition for shows that I'm passionate about so I can be like, hey, I'm excited about this. Let's do something. But
yeah, I don't know, like, I always leave an audition being like, oh God, I fucked up that line.
oh,
They noticed it, and they saw it, and they're like, nope.
Judging.
It's a weird thing, because it's like the only time in your life where you walk into a room, and they, like, these people are actually judging you.
yeah.
Like, right away. Like, because nobody across the street is, like, judging you,
Yeah.
probably, unless they're, like, a psychopath.
It's
But-
judgment you know about.
Yeah.
You're aware of.
yeah, it's the scariest thing, and I think I've learned to make them more palatable by being like, kind of like what you said, like coming in and just showing them like my interpretation of it, like this is how I feel about it, and you take kind of some ownership of that, and then you're like, done with that, throw the sides away, bye.
Yeah.
And we say it all the time on the podcast. I can't remember who said it. I think it's Lori or Connie. I don't know. But one of them was like, think of it as you get to act today. Like,
Oh yeah, that is a really good way to look at it,
Yeah.
and it's so easy to say that, but then
then you get there.
practicing
Yeah.
that is difficult.
It's hard, yeah.
So yeah, so I want to get to how you guys met.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember the exact moment?
Well, we were in Acting 1 together.
Yeah. But we weren't like close at
No,
the time.
I was because I didn't live on the theater floor. I was in Watterson, and so I was very separated from everyone, and so I was kind of on the outskirts, I think.
And I lived on the theater floor.
Yeah. I think I only started to get close to people like at the end of freshman year during AS and TNA. Mm-hmm. And then
Oh,
I
yeah.
kind of transferred into sophomore year.
Because we were on that team together.
Mm-hmm.
One of my first memories of meeting Sarah, though, is I was rooming with our good friend and past roommate, Jordan Figueroa, for junior year.
Yeah.
And we needed a third. And he knew you or something, or said you were interested. I don't know how it happened. But
Yeah.
so then we all met in the APL
Yeah.
and like talked together and figured it out. And like
Yeah.
from the get-go, we were like, this is going to work. So like I remember that distinctly.
Yeah.
Like I knew of you. I was aware.
Yeah. Oh, we did vagina monologues
We
together
did that too, yeah.
Oh, that's
Freshman and
great.
sophomore year.
Oh, yeah. I totally forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also true.
So where do you see your? This is friendship therapy now.
So would you love me? We're gonna get through this.
So you've lived together before.
3 years.
This will be
3 years.
Third year living together.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So have you guys been like annoyed with each other at all? Like has there been any like conflicts you know of?
The only thing I think of is I'm horrible at doing my dishes immediately, but no one was ever mean to me about it.
I feel like we have a lot in common. I just that's been Claire and I's situation is that I'm terrible at like just I'm so sporadic. Like I just have like a lot of stuff going on in my mind. So dishes isn't the first thing I'm thinking about. And so can you relate?
I was so bad at it. Jordan used to be like, "Hey, like, can you do your dishes or whatever?" Not like mean, but I was like, "This is something I'm aware of." So I don't think anything like direct.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're just very similar in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we just kind of exist around each other nicely.
Yeah.
Is it like an odd couple situation a little bit maybe? No?
No, I think we're so similar.
Oh wow.
I think so.
That's great. That's fantastic. I think I wanted there to be more conflict just because it's
We've just
juicy.
We've just been through so many ridiculous things that
Oh, tell me.
there can't be conflict.
What are some of the ridiculous things?
We can talk about crickets.
Wait, what? What is this?
Sarah tells us the best.
Um,
I'm straightening my hair. This is a scene.
Yeah.
Junior apartment. It's a shitty apartment.
We're in its ground floor or garden apartment.
Garden, really terrible.
Welcome,
But
garden.
like not
This
like
is
this.
beautiful.
This is beautiful. Ours was horrible.
The third roommate, Jordan, he was gone. And so I was just watching TV, and then I went to the bathroom, and there's a shower curtain right next to the toilet, and I just see out of the corner of my eye this, like, big dot. And I went, oh. And I look over, and there's a giant cricket. It is huge. And
Oh my God.
I sprinted
Wow.
out of the bathroom screaming, and I was like, there's a giant cricket. And then we
And I didn't understand what was happening.
It was
My
like,
hair's half straight, half up. It's like more a mess.
and it was on the shower curtain, so like we couldn't like trap it because it was on a fabric, and so we threw a tissue box at it,
Oh, I have a video of it.
and that didn't
Oh
work.
my
We'll
God.
show it to you.
Yeah.
And then I think we
you
posted
should
it,
send
yeah.
it to me so I can like post it on the
I'll,
Instagram.
I'll have to
Do
say
that.
it's a
Yeah.
snap
Yeah.
story.
Yeah,
Sent through the tissue box.
yeah, and then I think you smacked it with a broom, and then we threw a bowl on it.
Yeah, I was in there somehow.
I think you hit it with a broom or something.
I hit it, yeah, and then so then screaming ran out.
and then I trapped it in a bowl,
But it's like ceramic
a
bowl.
ceramic bowl, and I slid it onto a ceramic plate.
This is the best part.
I sprinted to the front door and just chucked the thing across the hallway.
Ceramic bowl and plate out onto concrete, just threw everything.
Oh my God.
And then and then nothing
No.
broke though. And then I picked it up the next morning, and then
Nothing
it
broke?
was gone. No,
Oh my God.
but it was so
How
big.
lucky.
Yeah,
Wow, that's what a bonding
it was.
experience.
It was
so
bonding.
intense.
I have a very grotesque story about rodent control.
Tell us.
Oh my God.
we have a
This is
snake
almost
story,
too graphic.
No,
I might have to cut it out. So, this is hard to talk about. So, we had mice in our apartment. I lived with Andrew Piacota and Mitch Fisher, and we had mice in our apartment. And Andrew was home, and we saw the mice, and the exterminator like came in, and he was gonna take care of the problem. By taking care of the problem, he put down these the sticky traps.
Oh,
You know?
yeah.
Oh no.
And so we hear squeaking in the kitchen,
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
and so we're like we found all the sticky traps. There were no mice on them, and we were like, where's this coming from? And then we didn't even realize that our oven like pulled out. It was under the oven. There are like 6 mice on this trap. 5 of them are dead. One is alive and squirming.
No!
And so, no, there were 2 alive.
Oh.
So Andrew, he puts one of them out of his misery
No.
with a hammer. And then he was going to do the second one, but I was like, you just did that, and like that must have been really hard. Let me do the second one. And so he gives me his headphone. He was wearing headphones while I did it, so he didn't have to like hear
That's good.
the squeals. And then so I put his headphones on, just closed my eyes and kind of hammered away. Didn't hammer away.
With the tap.
Oh no.
And that's how I became a serial killer. No.
Yikes.
No, but that was I'm still not over that. That was very traumatizing for me to have to kill a mouse.
Well, those are the moments that bring you together.
Yeah.
Killing animals.
Andrew and I still don't talk.
It's too much.
It's too much. We've been through too much shit together. So yeah, that's my rodent story. Yeah, so wow, it's stirring up some stuff inside of me. Let's see, what else do I have here? So do you guys see yourself in Chicago for a while?
I don't know. I still feel like I'm just kind of like, what's gonna happen next?
Yeah.
You know? I hope I'm here for a while. I would like to be here for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have no complaints about the city yet, so
Yeah.
Well,
I
that's
like
good.
it. We'll see. I have no idea.
I'm sure there are a few complaints. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
My car keeps getting stuck in the snow, so that's a
yeah.
big complaint.
How'd you guys get through the polar vortex?
It was the worst.
Oh my god, it was horrible.
I was stupid and parked on the speed bump the day before. So then all the snow was there, and then everything was cold, and my car, I had to go out and make sure it would start every day. And then I tried to move out of my spot, and I couldn't because of the snow and the bump and trying to get over my tires. Oh my god, it was awful. It was so bad. I
Yeah.
hated every minute of it.
So you guys drive
Yeah.
here. How is that? Like, do you guys take transit a lot too, or is it just like mostly driving? Because I don't think I could stand the traffic here.
I did the bus once, and it was fine. I don't mind the traffic. I hate driving during rush hour, though, because people are so stupid.
Oh yeah,
They drive so stupid.
Yeah.
I got hit by a car a few days ago. Because I was walking to work. I was crossing the street, and this like I always think when I'm walking, like, is this the day you get hit by a car?
This is it.
And you just keep walking, and then usually you're fine. But this car keeps coming, and I literally am putting my hand out like, no! And,
Oh my God.
and it like kind of hits my hand, and if I hadn't put my hand out, it would have totally I would have been on the windshield. But
Wow.
and the guy thought it was my fault.
That's the worst. Yeah, it's always someone else's fault, and that's what I hate.
Well,
Yeah.
people are like impatient with you
Yeah.
when you're trying to
like,
not
what
make
the
an accident. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to turn left on our street the other day, and cars were coming, and there was a moment, and I was like, oh, I could have turned there. I get it. And the guy behind me like honked at me, and I was like, I get it.
yeah.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be safe. Like Jesus.
Oh my god, I couldn't. I think it was so like sometimes I'm like, oh, it'd be convenient to because I had a car in college, an '01 Chevy Malibu. Rest in peace. It's no longer with us, unfortunately. Yeah, but now not having a car in the city, like especially with the polar vortex, like so many people's cars like wouldn't start.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, like there's silver linings to not having a car. Like I don't have to get it tuned up every month, or you know.
Yeah.
So my last question, I think, yeah, we're getting to that time. Someone just messaged me. Please don't message me. We're in the middle of recording.
Gosh darn it.
But what keeps you motivated in this weird time of like post grad life? And I know we've talked about it a little bit, but I just want to hear a little more in depth answers about that. Sarah, you first. You're nodding, so
I have to think.
I think, well, right now I'm in a time where I'm trying to find out what's motivating me and trying to find that motivation. Right now I'm just doing like small, simple things that I enjoyed. Because I know I like walking dogs. I know I like...
What's your favorite kind of dog?
I love corgis, and I have yet to walk one. I've yet to meet a corgi to walk, and I'm just waiting for that day.
My favorite is our Pomeranians.
They're great,
There's
too.
one that lives below us.
Yeah.
I know, right? They just like smile at you, and you're like, oh.
Yes.
Claire and I walked past a Pomeranian a couple months ago. It's like, well, it was probably like 6 or 7 months ago, and we remember it so clearly because it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And it was just like smiling up at us, and I named him Terrence in my head. His name was Terrence.
Terrence.
Yeah. That brings me to another thing. It's like, do you think it's appropriate to give animals people name?
Absolutely.
Right?
I think it's great. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
it. I think it's fun.
Tell Claire that
If anything,
if she gets here.
it just endears me to them more.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like you humanize these
Yeah.
creatures.
Yeah, to walk in and be like, "Hello, Gerald. Hey, Kevin.
Yeah.
What's up, Mikey?
I had a
How you doing?"
hamster named Richard. I always imagined him in like a little suit.
Oh,
But yeah, I just wanted your opinions on
well, we
that.
have a
Yeah.
guinea pig with a human name.
Her name's Lucy.
Lucy.
Yeah.
Aw, so
The
cute.
chocolate
She was
potato.
Is that the free range one?
No, that's a bunny. His
Oh,
name's
that's a bunny.
Bumble. He's our
Bumble.
other roommates.
Oh, okay. Oh, you have another roommate.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you get along with them?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
She's actually doing something at Looking Glass right now.
Yeah, she's a
Very cool.
costumer,
Yeah.
so she's helping out.
Some wardrobe crew.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
It's a Theta
Yeah.
household.
Do you get into those? Do you have an inn now?
I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
She bring you to things? No.
No.
No. So back to motivations. What are they? Let's find out.
I don't know. Little things just motivate me now.
Yeah.
Like, my family's a big motivator for me. Anytime I talk to them, I'm like, these are my fears and worries. Ugh. They're always like, they just always know what to say. And then I get off the phone, I'm like, I'm ready to work. Or like, even like when I get a paycheck, I'm like, solid. Like, I am doing good.
Yeah, it's the little things
Yeah.
that really keep you afloat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just having a paycheck, you're like, I have all this money.
Yes. And then reading plays, which is like, you would think is obvious, but like, I haven't actually sat and like read through a play in a long time, but I'm rereading Macbeth right now. And I'm just like, I love it. Like, it's just,
I love that we had to get like the Riverside
Yeah.
Shakespeare because I was kind of annoyed with it in college because I was like, I have to pay $60 for a book.
ridiculous.
But like, I'm so glad I have that because you can
Yeah.
just like flip through to any Shakespeare play and yeah, it's awesome.
Well, it just makes me feel like I'm getting smarter.
Yeah.
To be completely
You know,
honest.
I gotta say, like, after I've gotten out of college, like, I feel like I'm at the place now where I want to learn, like, even more than I did in college, you
Yeah.
know? And I'm like, why didn't I just save college for later?
Yeah. Or I like regret it. I'm like, I wish I had taken
Yeah.
more
Well, and I think
things.
it's partly, like, how our school systems are set up.
I agree. Yeah.
Because it's it's set up for you to, I have to get a good grade.
Yes.
I have to take 5 classes at a time. I have a bunch of extracurricular activities that I'm doing that kind of overshadow this work that I should be doing.
Yeah.
Instead of like, there's a college in, I think it's near the Seattle area. Is it Emerson? I think it's Emerson State College. And they have like 1 class per semester. It's like 16 credits, and they just get to focus on. They have like a fairly small class size too, and they just get to focus on that 1 class for a whole entire semester.
That's cool.
Amazing.
Yeah, and so I'm kind of in that place now, because when I was in school and I was never like a great student, I was kind of like BC average, literally 50%. I never had that motivation until now when I'm like, when you kind of find out who you are and you're like, oh my God, there's so much out there that I want to learn.
Yeah, all
now.
the possibilities
Yeah.
that are suddenly available to you. Yeah, it's overwhelming.
Because I don't know if you guys feel this way. Is it because you have more downtime now that you're like
Yeah, I hate that.
yeah.
Yeah.
You hate having downtime?
it's weird. Like when I'm busy, I'm like, I like having downtime. But if there's a day where like I have nothing to do, I like get, like, oh, I need to do something. It's like, it's odd. Like I'd rather be using that downtime for stuff that's like still relaxing, but like where I'm learning something, if that makes sense. I don't know what that means.
Totally. What about you? How do you cope with downtime?
Right now, for me, my downtime is typically kind of like what you're talking about is because of I'm training to get my yoga teaching certification.
Yeah.
But because I'm not taking my teacher training because I'm in a show right now, I do yoga. There's a yoga anatomy book, so I just kind of read through that and I take notes. And for me, that's really relaxing. So I'm learning something about the anatomy of our body. But then I'm also like, I'm learning, but I'm also like super chill and zenned out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the best.
Yeah, that's the best.
That's the best kind of like classes and like.
Yeah, and I'm
way to
also
teach
rereading
yourself.
the Harry Potter series. Also,
Oh,
so that's-
nice. How's that?
It's going well. Actually, it's going terrible. It's taking me forever to read each one, but I'm on the fourth
My
one right now.
worst fear is that like because I haven't read like a fictional book in a long time. But my
Yeah.
worst fear is that I'll be a slower reader than I was when I was like 13.
No, that's totally true.
100%.
I'm rereading a book right now I read in high school, and it's fiction, and I'm like, this is the worst. Like, I can barely get through a page.
It's so weird. I can read like a bunch of like historical stuff or like nonfiction stuff. Like I usually just pull stuff up on my computer, and like I love that stuff now because I think it's like we're in the real world now, and like learning from mistakes of the past is really like interesting to me. And then fiction books, I'm just like, wait, why do I care about this?
Yeah, that's
you know
so
what I
true.
mean?
Yeah.
But how? Which Harry Potter book are you on?
I just started the fourth one, the Goblet of Fire.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a chunky one too.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. Well, how do they compare to when you? How old were you when you read the books? Did you read them while they were coming out?
Yeah, I first
Okay.
read them. Well, they started coming out, I think, when I was around in first grade. So in second grade, I tried reading them, but I did not understand what was happening. So I read through them, I think, in fifth grade. I read through all of them.
Oh, yeah.
Loved it. Then I never touched them again. And so after graduating college, I was like, I want to just go back to it and see if I can grab something new from it. So
Have
far,
you?
I have not.
No.
But I enjoy it.
You haven't had any more insights into.
No, but I'm enjoying like
The
the world.
subtleties.
Yeah, not at all. But I like the world, getting like remembering like the whole world that was built. That's kind of cool. But
Real talk, I want to do that with the Twilight series just a little bit.
I tried them. I couldn't.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the Twilight Zone.
Oh, no.
And did you guys see the new the Jordan Peele Twilight Zone is coming out?
No.
Yeah, he's hosting.
What?
Yeah, he's hosting the rebooted Twilight Zone.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
That'll be
and
so
so
cool.
many great people are involved.
Nice.
Super excited. But yeah, I've never read Twilight actually.
I read it in like high school, and it was
Yeah.
like something you read, and it's like funny. But like now, I'm like, if I read it again now, is it a good romance or no? Like
It's
I just want to reread because I remember loving it in high school.
Yeah.
And I'm like, would I still? But I don't know. Apparently not.
I tried. It was just it's so many simple sentences that I was like, this is painful to get through.
But I
But
just like the fantasy aspect.
yeah, I agree.
There's
It was,
nothing
like,
quite
fun.
like that I've read since.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So that's what I appreciate.
Well, and I think. Do you think part of it is like when you're young, you have this. You're more willing to go along with a story. Like you're able to suspend disbelief more.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I also at the same time think you don't necessarily have the emotional capacity to fully understand everything that's happening.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You're like,
Oh,
I'm going with
100%.
this. But like if like I reread like Animal Farm recently and I was like, this is so much heavier and nuanced than I remember it
Oh,
being.
yeah.
Like there's
Well, when I was, it's funny because when I was in junior high, I read that book and I acted like I got it, but I didn't really. And then I reread it when I was like a little older, and
You're
it
like-
just like I'm like, oh my god, this is why communism doesn't work.
exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, have you guys seen the animated version of that?
I've seen like bits and pieces, but I'm scared to watch it because like animated animals freak me out. Watership Down destroyed my life. plague dogs destroyed my life.
Wait, I don't know what these are.
If you just want to like cry and just feel gross and like scared inside,
I would love to.
watch the original Watership Down and
Okay.
watch the movie Plague Dogs and just be like upset. Like it was like in the age where like people were experimenting with like animation, but like also heavy sad themes. Like
Yeah.
Watership Down is about like bunnies that are getting like shoved out of their home because of human expansion.
Oh my god.
And their journey. Plague Dogs is about dogs who were specifically meant for experimentation, and then they escape.
What was that one called?
The first one?
The second
Down.
one.
Oh, the Plague Dogs.
Plague Dogs.
That's like if you want to actually like hate life. Like,
Okay,
don't
I do.
watch it in the day.
I do want to
Don't
hate
watch
life.
it alone. Like that kind of thing. Watch it down is where you're just like you just feel unsettled. Like so I just feel wary about like animals.
Well, yeah, because Animal Farm is a pretty dark tale as well.
Exactly. And so I'm like, I know what I'm getting into. I'm gonna avoid.
There's another. There's a lot of dark animation out there. There's this this British animated thing that's on YouTube.
The Animals of Farthing Woods.
I don't know. That's not it. It's
No.
like the one with the. It's like the puppets and, it's like. I'm gonna look it up
Oh my god!
I know it's on the tip of my
Is it
tongue.
animated or it's puppets?
It's puppets. Like some of it's animated.
Ooh.
About animals.
Yeah, it's like birds and a weird like Bert and Ernie type thing, and then this like weird like red.
Don't hug me, I'm scared.
Don't hug me, I'm scared.
Oh
Yes.
no! What's your favorite idea? Mine is being. No. What is that song? Don't you know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's the clock singing. Listen to your heart. Listen to the rain. Listen to the voices in your brain. You haven't heard? Oh my
Oh
god.
my god! After this is done, we'll have to watch it because it's incredible. But yeah, like shit like that. Don't hug me, I'm scared. Yeah. Oh my god. And it's weird. I'm so macabre, but I literally I get so much joy out of watching those. They're amazing. So, we've gone on a tangent. Let's get back to motivation. Don't think I've forgotten. And so Sarah, we talked about your motivation a little bit, but Spencer, what is yours?
Honestly, I think I need to find it again.
Okay.
Since graduating up until I officially moved into the apartment, I just had some rough going, and it kind of led me away from that passion. So I'm honestly just looking for it again. And
Yeah.
that's what I mean by like.
That's
when
very, that's a great place to be in a way, because it's like the fact that you can be honest with yourself there
Yeah.
is I think one of the hardest things to do.
And it sucks because then I'm like, I feel like I've been away for acting too long. I'm blah, 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 like, what am I doing with my life? But like,
But living
exactly,
is acting.
You're just doing your best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, well, that's a great place to end on.
Woo.
Yeah, you made it through. I didn't roast you too hard.
Yeah.
I didn't roast you at all.
We escaped.
You escaped that one. But yeah, thank you guys for coming on. I'm excited to come on your podcast.
Yeah.
Do you guys? So I'm gonna plug your podcast again. It's Out of College Actor. What's your backup? It's on Google Play,
iTunes.
iTunes.
Are the most updated, and then
Yeah.
we have a Facebook page also.
Okay, so like them on Facebook. Check it out. It's a great podcast. Yeah, and do you have any other shows you want to plug? You're in a show right now.
Yeah,
plug
man.
away.
I'm in Little Women the musical, but it closes this week.
Go see it now.
There are-
I don't think it will be out in time. This episode will be out in time.
They're also sold out.
Yeah, there's like 4 tickets left
Oh,
for the
then you don't
weekend.
need that help.
Yeah.
I'm gonna unplug that plug. But thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
thanks for having
looking forward to tomorrow. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Do I need to stop?
that was fun.
Hey, folks. Thanks for listening. That was Spencer and Sarah. They are really fun to talk to. I was on their podcast as well. So we had a podcastaganza, as I like to call it. They are really funny and bright. So check out their podcast, Out of College Actor, What's Your Backup? Follow them on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Play, as well as liking them on Facebook. Okay, so checking in with Wes. So as I told you in the intro and on my live video on Facebook, we are switching checking in with Wes to Fridays so they can be a little bit longer, because I always hate having to make them so short. I love doing this segment, and I want to make it even a bigger thing. So, yeah, check that out, April 5th on Fridays. You can find it on the same feed as the Basement Diaries. Okay, so today, what I'm going to talk about is canvassing, because I'm canvassing in less than an hour. Yeah, at 2 o'clock. It's 1:01 on a Sunday right now. And this is the Sunday before the municipal elections in Chicago, which includes voting for alderperson, which Maria Hadden is the candidate that I'm voting for and I'm canvassing for. She's running against Joe Moore in the 49th Ward. I'm excited to go out door knocking and talking to people about it and what they think of the election. It is kind of nerve-wracking, though, because you're knocking on strangers' doors. I mean, I know for me, when somebody buzzes at my apartment, I'm like, oh, who is that? You know, I have social anxiety, so I usually don't want to answer. So I understand people's frustrations with people canvassing. I know the other side of it, so that's why I'm a little nervous. But, next week I'll tell you how it went. I'm sure it'll go fine. And when I release this, it will be Election Day. It'll be Tuesday. So make sure you go out and vote. Local elections are as important as national elections. It's your community, people. So get out there and vote for mayor, alderperson. I need to do a little more research on the ballot, but check out what else is on there. And, you can Google search it and find out. So, yeah, it's, it's one of those things that I have, pretty intense social anxiety, and a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people are surprised when I tell them that. But I think it's because I have this nervous energy that makes it seem like I'm confident and cool, but on the inside, it's really just a whole mess in there. I'm always nervous I'm going to say the wrong thing or I'm going to upset people, and confrontation is not my best friend. I'll put it that way. I am not a confrontational person. A lot of people who know me really well can attest to that. I hate fighting. I hate disagreements. And in a lot of ways, that is a good thing about me. I'm diplomatic, but in other ways, it's not, because I can let things fester for a long time. And I've gotten better at it since I feel like the people I associate with are a little better at dealing with confrontation. So I'm able to learn from that. I guess it's about surrounding yourself with people who won't just make you comfortable, which I do surround myself with people that make me comfortable, but also surrounding yourself around people who are different from you and will challenge your belief systems and the way you interact with people. And I think that's a big step I've taken in my life. So yeah, I'm proud of myself. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm proud of myself for the stuff I've gotten better at, and I'm excited for the future to better myself even further, because I think I have a lot of work to do still, as we all do. Something I really want to start doing soon is going to therapy. But it's hard to find a therapist. I'm serious. Like, I've reached out to a few therapists. All of them have times that I'm not available. And then you run into a lot of therapists not taking your insurance, which sucks. But I have found a lot that do take my insurance. I think it's just about being persistent and finding the person who is the right fit for me and is available at the times that I'm available. It's not an emergency or anything. I'm not like in dire need of a therapist, but I think it would be something that would enrich my life a little bit, just being able to talk things through and have an objective listener. So yeah, if you're thinking about going to therapy, you should jump on the train too. But I understand if you don't have health insurance because, we need to get rid of privatized health care. I'm telling you. Everybody deserves it. Everybody needs it. It's not something that should be sold for a monetary value. That just sickens me, you know? Well, anyway, what else? I'm starting my class next Sunday. I talked about that a little bit last time. But I'm doing a writing class at IO. It's a comedy writing class. I've always wanted to be a writer, and I write a lot in my spare time, but I've never taken a class on it. So I figured I had gotten my tax refund. I was like, I can afford it now, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to take it. So it's another big leap for me, taking an 8-week class about writing. The first section of it is writing for talk shows, so like jokes and monologues for hosts and all that stuff. So I'm excited to see what that's all about. And then you can take level 2, 3, and 4, which are like, I think level 2 is sketch writing, level 3 is spec scripts, and level 4 is writing your own pilot, which I have done. So hopefully I can like learn how to retool it or like rebrand it, you know, like so it can reach a larger audience. I think that's my problem, is that I write good stories, but I don't know how to pitch them. And I hope that I can learn how to pitch them better through taking this class. So that's kind of my objective with doing this. And it also prepares you for the professional world of writing, which I think is really great, because a lot of classes can just focus on the technical aspects of it and how do you get good at this, but they don't tell you how to do the business side of it. And this is setting you up for success with like literary agents and submitting a portfolio. So that is something I am really keen on. So yeah, I think that's about it for me today. I got to get going to do this canvassing. You know, the weather's kind of crappy out, and it kind of sucks out there right now. But, you know, democracy doesn't stop for bad weather, so I still got to get out there and knock on those doors. So I'll see you guys next week. I have somebody on the podcast who I recorded the interview 2 months ago, actually, at the very start of January. It was before we had even launched the podcast. I think it was like my 4th or 5th interview. I just haven't gotten a chance to release it yet. So I'm releasing that one on March 5th. And make sure to vote today, because it will be the 26th, Election Day, when I release this. Listen to this on your way to the polls and vote. Get out the vote. Find your polling place. You can get registered at your polling place if you're not registered to vote in your district. So don't let that stop you from going, because you can do it there. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And that's it from me. So stay real, basement dwellers, and I'll see you next week.